Hey there, I'm back again, it's Dylan. So, this time we're going to talk about mechanics, the most important part of the level. So the mechanics we're going to be talking about are my dialogue trees, which is being able to talk to get information or progress through the level. Looting, which gives you money. Combat, if I can... I used to be able to navigate this, it's just really easy. Combat, which allows you to defeat enemies to progress. I want to give you a little demonstration real fast if I can reach over there. Here we are. Here. Ooh, okay, I was facing the wrong way. Combat. Have at thee! Have at thee! Heh. And last but not least, something that is severely lacking in modern games, a stealth system. So the way it works, you can see where you're standing up. Let's see if I can get out of his eyesight and then crouch. Okay, yeah. So crouch don't have a mechanic. Don't have a button yet. Whenever you crouch, he cannot see you. And then whenever I go back up, oh, he sees me, he chases me. And if he catches me, it's game over. Alright, so let's talk about how this stuff works. We're going to talk about dialogue tree first because it's a lot more complicated than other stuff. Dialogue tree works by way of an interface that's set up called an interaction interface. So if you interact with a interface, first, for it to be interactable, you have to be in range. This is determined by this. It checks both the actor and the components to see if it has the interaction interface, and if it does, it gets added to an array. It only gets added once, and then it reveals text, which is the E to interact or E to talk. But let's get into the dialogue itself. So after it does all that, it creates widgets and stuff, sets UI mode only, it runs the behavior tree. You set this behavior tree up by way of a variable. All behavior trees use the same blackboard, and then it makes the dialog widget an object, so that way you can actually click on it, do different values and stuff. And then whenever you exit the dialog tree, it runs this logic right here, sets up the game mode only, stops the tree, and removes the dialog widget from parent. But so the way the dialog tree works, it works via a little behavior tree that I set up. Whenever you first get in, the person will speak, say something. You put the text in here. You have these reply indexes and a selector. So you use the decoration to decide which reply it went with. You can use the sequence to give it more options after that. If you don't use the sequence and you don't have an exit, then it will go right back to the beginning. The dialogue works via a widget, which is in, I think it's in stuff for dialogue, or is it in here? Did I miss it? Yeah, right there. So the widget uses a enum to just switch back and forth between the NPC speaking and the player speaking. That's all there is to that. You choose replies. Replies, of course, out of your index. It just keeps going as much as you want, but that's the dialogue system. So let's talk about the lootable. This is a lot faster to explain. Once again, still using my interface interactions. When you interact with it, it sees if you looted it before. If you have not, then it will give you a random amount of silver. Tells you that you have looted it. Gets to the gameplay box and the game mode, and it tells you that's how many boxes you've looted. There's also something in here for that too. Where the first time you talk to somebody, it adds it to the game mode. So that way, that little widget at the very end tracks how many people, how many boxes, how much money, all that good stuff. So let's go back to our guard and talk about how stealth works. So stealth and combat both work the same way, kinda. Whenever it sees the pawn, it'll see if it's the player, sees if they're crouching or not, sees that they're in a restricted area, which works via a little collision box, pursues them. If it catches them, game over. If it does not, it'll still keep trying to catch them. If it can't, they'll go back to patrolling, which is just finding a random point. Combat works, like I said, a similar way. I have both in the player and the NPCs. Whenever you're attacking, it plays an attack montage, which is just the swinging. Whenever you take damage, it plays the little hit react, which is right here. But on pawn sensing, it sees the third-person character, sees if the NPC itself is hostile. If it is, then they'll chase them and then attack. You can set anybody to hostile, anybody to not. Hostility can be triggered through dialogue. And then that's my 4 mechanics. So let's see if I have time to go a little bit more in depth. I do. So let's talk about exactly how the widget works. So when you kill somebody, be it an NPC or not, if you kill somebody, where is my death widget? Right here. It will cast the game mode and tells you that you killed that many people. But death itself simply works as if it's killable or not, and it'll ragdoll players the same way. But yeah, that's my 4 mechanics. You got dialogue, got looting, got combat, and you got stealth. I'm wanting to add more as I go, but for right now I'm very happy with this, and I feel like I've made a pretty complete small level game. And I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. This has been Dylan Gaskin signing off.